Riley Boone and company are getting set with Patty Gasso's son JT, who was elevated to the associate head coach position earlier this year. And Maddie Wright gets set to face Jada Coleman. Tiare Jennings moves up into the 2 spot, and then Ella Parker here on this Sunday afternoon as the first pitch misses low, says Frederick Ewald, our home plate umpire today. Coleman scored 3 runs, reached 3 times yesterday, including a base knock to lead things off against Maddie Keel in a first inning that Oklahoma will never forget. They batted around before the first out was recorded. Coleman with 3 hits this series. The All-American center fielder takes just low and outside, and once again, these Red Raider pitchers have to feel like they are not getting any favors here at home. A tight zone yesterday plagued the pitching, and once again on a 2-0 pitch. The count pushes to 3-0, but there is finally a strike called. Following Jennings and Parker, Alyssa Brito bumped into the cleanup spot. Sydney Sanders has slowly seen her spot in the lineup drop from 2 to 4 to now 5. Coleman takes a strike on the inner half, and then the freshman Cassidy Pickering, who had a towering home run in the first inning yesterday, followed by Alina Torres. Riley Ludlam, the Fordham transfer catcher who has walked 6 times this weekend, gets the start once again for Kinsey Hansen. As Coleman lifts one out to left, and it falls in front of Ariana Villa for a leadoff single. Riley Boone will round things out with Nicole May in the circle for Oklahoma today. Meanwhile, Texas Tech's defense lines up very similarly to what we've seen all season long, with Villa, Holloman, and Elder left to right in the outfield. Love, Orick, Jennings, and Barnhart in the infield, with Kennedy Kreitz catching and Kaylee Wyckoff the DP, as Maddie Wright can't find the zone on a rise ball up and in to Tiare Jennings, who has lit the world on fire here this weekend, as she usually does in Lubbock. Had a career-high tying 6 RBI game on Friday. Backed it up with 3 RBIs yesterday, and another double, which was Jennings' 58th, tying her with Sydney Romero atop the Oklahoma leaderboard. Jennings hitting .438, second on the team behind Ella Parker, who bats behind her. Six hitters hitting .400 or higher on this senior team, as Jennings fouls it back and evens the count 2-2. It almost feels unfair when Gasso puts Coleman and Jennings back to back. 2 very similar power threats that add the 5 tools. As Wright fills the count here in the top of the first inning. Texas Tech, a defense that turned 2 double plays yesterday. Nation leading 19 this season. Looking for a hard hit ground ball at someone here on the 3-2 pitch. That's what they'll get. A little bit slower than they wanted though, and only one option is to fire across the diamond, and Love is on target out to the Alabama transfer in Barnhart for a much-needed out number 1. As Coleman moves over to second, and Ella Parker comes to the plate here in the first. Parker 3 for 4 with 3 RBIs and a double yesterday. That followed an 0 for 3 game on Friday for the Phenom freshman. Hard hit ground ball finds the seam, and into center field it goes as Ella Parker continues to contribute her 26th RBI of the year, and the Sooners are on top again. You know, I wonder how many games this season Oklahoma has been shut down in the first inning. They just jump on the scoreboard with consistency. And a 26-1 record this season. Lone loss came earlier this month in extra innings to Louisiana as Alyssa Brito steps into the right-hand batter's box. 0 for 1 with a run yesterday as Parker will take second, her second stolen base of the series. And on a throw from Kreitz that hits her shoe, Ella Parker will chase the 60 feet over to third base on the error. Wonder if Parker will be up early on Wednesday. 5 a.m. Central Time, opening day over in Korea, where Uncle Dave Roberts will be leading the Dodgers. Wright's able to find the zone and the count 0-2. I know I'll try to be up, at least to catch the back half. Dodgers, Padres in Seoul on ESPN. Good waste pitch there by Maddie Wright. Senior from Fort Worth who grew up playing with a lot of these in-state travel ball athletes. Spent 4 years at UNC Charlotte as a check swing keeps the at-bat alive from Brito. 6-3 mark for Maddie Wright. Their 45th inning worked with 31 strikeouts and 18 walks. There's Coach Patty Gasso in her 30th season. For a 4th straight national championship. Gasso will, of course, once again be the benefactor of location with Oklahoma City, the site of the Big 12 tournament and the Women's College World Series. Oh, that was a good pitch. If only Kreitz had framed it a little better. So the count runs full here with 1 out in the first. Maddie Wright doing her job, keeping the barrels off the bat. Couple seeing eye singles here in the first inning. Time called behind home plate. Leadoff single by Coleman. Jennings grounded her over to second before Parker singled on a ground ball up the middle. Parker would steal second and move to third on the error. 3-2 popped up. Wright gets the soft contact, but the wind will add swirling effects for Kreitz as it finds its way out of play. So the 4th foul ball in this AB, Alyssa Brito. Swinging. A massive strikeout for Wright. And there's 2 down here in the top of the first.
Batting for the Sooners, number 1, Sydney Sanders.
So brings up the Nation's Player of the Week, whether it's the NFCA, Division I softball, or the Big 12, all honored Sydney Sanders this past week, who had 4 hits against Iowa State, all of them home runs, and 5 official plate appearances, then picked up home runs in both games of the doubleheader on Tuesday, but Texas Tech has refused to let her beat them. Sanders walked 4 times on Friday as she takes a strike down the middle. Was 1 for 3 yesterday with an RBI single in that first inning. Currently hitting .383 with 10 home runs to tie Riley Love atop the conference. She'll go around on this rise ball, and the count 1-2 is Maddie Wright, one strike away from a miraculous magician's jig to get out of this jam. With a runner at third and one out, struck out Brito. Now the 1-2 pitch is crushed foul. Parker at third, and a changeup misses the zone, but it couldn't have been by more than a centimeter. Maddie Wright again cannot believe she did not get the call. And a strike zone the size, I'm not even gonna say it. It misses inside and the count runs full. To ice the pitcher was, and so now the 3-2 delivery will get set. Wright feeling like she has to put one right down the middle to get a strike call. So go rise ball, and it's lifted out to left for a single. And that was just a matter of time with Texas Tech getting squeezed by the umpire. Oklahoma will take a 2-0 lead as Sanders pops one out to left.
Batting for the Sooners, number 7, Cassidy Pickering.
So it brings up the freshman Cassidy Pickering here with Oklahoma up 2-0 in the first. Hey, a called strike. What are the odds? Count 0-1. Here to Pickering with 2 outs in the top of the first inning. So Wright will first ahead in the count 0-2 as Oklahoma has knocked in 2 runs on 3 singles. The 1-2 to Pickering. Evens the count here with 2 outs in the first inning. Wright is ready for the 2-2. Oklahoma, who has to be up there in the nation's leaders in pitches taken, shows quite the eye. And Pickering will work the walk. So an inning that looked to be over with a couple strike throws that were called balls to Sanders. And instead of a 1-0 lead into the bottom of the first, Oklahoma now leads 2-0 with 2 on in the top of the first. Alita Torres, who homered on Friday. Saw her batting average rise to .380 as she swings at the first pitch, lifts one out to Elder in right. And Maddie Wright had to throw a couple extra pitches, but gets through the side as Oklahoma leads 2-0 into the bottom of the first. Chases. But Nicole May has not needed to go deep this year. Her season high is only 4 innings. In fact, she has not thrown more than 80 pitches in an outing. Certainly feels weird to say. I'm sure the Sooners will like to see her open up a little bit more into conference play, getting her ready for her final postseason run. As Barnhart goes chasing after the 1-1 changeup. With Villa, Love, and Wyckoff to follow. All four top of this lineup hitting over 320. In fact, 7 of the 9 for Craig Snyder's crew hitting over 300. And another changeup has Nicole May's 44th strikeout of the season. And in fact, if May were to pick up the win here today, she would sit solo 10th all time, 57 wins. Maybe the best winning percentage of anyone on that list with just 3 losses. As Ariana Villa comes off of her first inning home run yesterday and takes another off-speed pitch for a strike. Villa, the senior, who has moved from second base to center field, now left field. 6 home runs, 6 doubles this year. She tries to find a gap, loving to go the other way. With Boone, Coleman, and Pickering left to right in the outfield. Brito, Jennings, Torres, and Sanders left to right in the infield. And Riley Ludlum, the SoCon Player of the Year, back behind home plate. The transfer from Furman in her graduate senior season. The 0-2 has Villa unable. No, she did check the swing, so able to check her swing there. You can hear the groan from the crowd. That goes to show how many Oklahoma fans have made the trek down. I have to imagine there's a large contingent living in Texas as well. 2-2. It would certainly be telling to see if Frederick Ewald's tiny zone stretches here into the bottom half of innings, which would certainly make Texas Tech fans a little bit more relieved about the catastrophe of the strike zone in the top of the first. 2-2 pitch, and Villa goes down on strikes. Just an absolute dandy of a drop. And Nicole May has 2 quick strikeouts here in the first inning. Brings up just the real story here in 2024 in Lubbock, and that's Riley Love's ascent to excellency. Had hit 200 around there the last 2 years, up to 350 with 10 home runs, a career high already, 36 RBIs, 9 doubles, and 2 triples for Love. Waiting to see when the NFCA or Softball America, D1 softball, starts to pick up on Riley Love's success. Just foul down that first base line. As Love and Sanders both clinging atop the Big 12 home run leaderboard with 10. Riley, who missed the opener in this series, dealt with a little bit of an illness, but bounced back nicely to get back in the lineup yesterday. Coming off of an 0-for-1 game is Love. He was hit by a pitch. Now count 2-1. May, who hails from Pleasanton, California. I believe it's up in that Bay Area. The off-speed is certainly working. You can see how many Oklahoma fans got prime real estate back there behind home plate. The count now 2-2. And 2 outs in the bottom of the first. Great take by Love. Ludlum, Boone, and Coleman. 2 up in the top of the second for the Sooners. And Love will work a 2-out walk here in the first. The Red Raiders need just 1 big swing here from Kaylee Wyckoff to wipe out the top of the first inning.
Kaylee Wyckoff.
Wyckoff reached twice on Friday. A walk and a hit by pitch. And smashed a home run in the 4th inning yesterday. There was no scoring between Villa's home run in the first and Wyckoff's home run in the fourth. And then a 3-run fifth inning put the game out of hand. After that 12-run first set the stage for Oklahoma. But things have settled down a bit here in game 3 with OU just scoring 2 in the first as Wyckoff takes low and outside. These are RBIs by Parker and Sanders as Oklahoma picked up 3 singles in the top of the first inning. So check swing on 1 and 2 to even the count 2 and 2. Love over at first base here with 2 outs in the first. And the 2-2 to Wyckoff is squibbed back to May. He fires over to Sanders to send us to the second with a couple strikeouts. Nicole May easing in to this final Big 12 regular season meeting between Oklahoma. Right back out there here for the second inning of this contest. Riley Ludlam will lead things off for Oklahoma as she takes high. Very funny evolution growing. I saw someone mention it on X or Twitter. There is a man behind home plate that is delivering the count after every pitch. Go ahead and keep an eye. You know, we appreciate everybody, mostly students, that help us with our camera work, and certainly a situation that you guys can see with no count on the graphic up top. There you see it. 3-0 is the count. Our own umpire in, what is that, orange, brown, back there in the second or third row behind home plate, as Ludlam has not seen many strikes this weekend. There's one, and the count 3-1. Ludlam got the start yesterday, walked 3 times, a run and an RBI. So she has walked 6 times this weekend, and that will make it 7. She has only made contact twice in 9 at-bats.
Batting for the Sooners, number 0, Riley Boone.
Riley Boone gets serenaded as she approaches the left-hand batter's box. Looks to bunt, and count 0-1. This will be a tough play. Jennings has to hurry and does so as the freshman throws out the senior. And it works like a bunt for the first out here in the second. To the top of the lineup, Sooner Nation goes as Jada Coleman comes to the plate. She smashes one to left. And it's caught! Villa collides with the wall. And a hustle play by Ludlam to get back to second on an absolute robbery here in Lubbock. Shades of Peyton Blythe a few years ago. Remember when she went over the fence out in a preseason tournament? As Ludlam will be evaluated, and that is not a good sign to see a catcher with a hand issue. Hopefully she's all right. Wonder what Snyder had a word about there. I wonder if there was any questions about the scampering back to second there. But Ludlam got back safely, and now we have an injury delay here with 2 outs in the second. What a grab to rob Coleman of extra bases to keep Oklahoma off the scoreboard for the time being. How many catchers do the Sooners have? Because Kinsey Hansen seemingly not feeling the best. She was out with an illness in the doubleheader Tuesday and was removed after a home run in her first plate appearance Friday, and we have not seen her since.
23, T.R.A. Jennings.
Gratefully, Ludlam will stay in the contest, and T.R.A. Jennings comes to the plate here with 2 outs. And a chance for Maddie Wright to put together a shutdown second. As Jennings takes a strike, and the fans and cheering dugout for Texas Tech really getting into it now. Oh, 1. Sky to center. Holloman is there, and it is a shutdown inning for Wright as Texas Tech's defense shines. Clean first inning for Nicole May as she will take on Elder, Jennings, and Orrick, up by 2 runs here in the bottom of the second on the Big 12 now on ESPN+. Elder 0 for 2 in the game yesterday. Had a single and a walk on Friday. High here. Push the count to 2-0. Demi hitting .328 with an OBP of over 400 this season. And might this provide quite the spark? We saw Elder and Jennings connect on a rally starter on Friday. And Elder will slap one right into the waiting glove of Sanders, who taps the bag for out number 1. Sanders has played a very solid first base this season. In her second year as a Sooner. Talking to Coach Gasso this week, she really emphasized the growing pains that it takes to go from a top player transfer to Oklahoma, like Sanders did after an All-American freshman year in Tempe. And last season was filled with those growing pains, but now Sydney Sanders feeling free is what she told Coach Gasso. That's exactly what a coach wants to hear. As Reagan Jennings, the freshman, takes a pair in the count 0-2. Jennings making her 16th start of the year here in game 29. Is now a stable in the middle of this lineup. Second in steals with 3. And strokes it off the glove of Torres for a single here with 1 out in the second, and Texas Tech's first hit. Reagan Jennings now has a pair of hits here this weekend, and even gave a little bit of a thank you to Torres there. I know I got away with one, it just hit right off the glove. And a chance here for Abby Orrick, who has 6 home runs this season. Orrick had 6 home runs back in 2022, 5 last year. Looking to set a new career high. A huge hat. Evens the count here at 1-1. We lost our count guy there in the 3rd row. Count now 1-2. Hopefully he makes a safe journey back to his seat. And May is able to slide one by Orrick for out number 2. It's Nicole May's 3rd strikeout here this afternoon.
Batting for the Red Raiders, number 8, Kennedy Kreitz.
First pitch swinging. Kennedy Kreitz skies one out of play. Great take there by Kreitz, who had the day off yesterday. 0 for 2 with a couple strikeouts against Kelly Maxwell, who K'd 10 in 6 shutout innings in Friday's win. Maxwell has now put together a string of scoreless innings that leads the team as Jennings stays put over at first after Kirsten Deal's 22-inning scoreless streak was snapped in the first yesterday. Maxwell has now gone 24 consecutive innings, and if this game stays tight, I would not be surprised if Coach Gasso goes to Maxwell to try to shut the door. 2-2 the count here to the right-handed hitting senior with a runner at first and 2 outs. Logan Halleman waiting on deck. 2-2 squibbed over to third. Brito is there, and another clean inning for Nicole May. Sends us to the third. I'm not sure Kreitz. Top of the third inning, and the freshman Ella Parker, who has had a terrific Lubbock debut, takes low. Parker had 3 hits, 3 RBIs, 3 runs scored yesterday. Also stole a base, then singled in a run and stole a base and scored back in the first inning. So she's responsible for both of the runs today. As the count evens here against Maddie Wright, who has been absolutely dealing today. Wright, a revelation with the loss of 3 of the team's key pitchers last season. Mackenzie Herzog, Kendall Fritz graduated, and lost Sage Hoover for the year. So needing a big addition, Coach Snyder goes to the portal, picks up Maddie Wright. A good take there by Parker, evens the count 2-2. Now, if Wright can put together a second scoreless inning and really give her offense some confidence, the top of the lineup due up in the bottom of the third. That looked like a strike. The zone, microscopic here for Maddie Wright, and the count runs full 3-2. Slow roller over to first. It's gonna have to hustle, and Barnhart able to stomp the bag just in time for out number 1. And that was a near mirror image of yesterday when Parker was able to beat out a roller to first in the first inning.
Number 33, Alyssa
But
Brito.
Barnhart has learned her lesson. Do not take any of that for granted. And we move to the 4-hitter in Brito, who struck out swinging in the first. There's a friendly strike call on the outer. Brito, who spent her first season as a shortstop for Oregon, now a Stableford over at third base, coming off of a first-team All-American campaign where she hit 17 home runs, 17 doubles, as the count evens 1-1. Funny enough, she has 7 home runs and 7 doubles this season. Just such a class act as well, Alyssa Brito. One of the good ones that you can root for no matter what side you're on. As Brito lifts one lazily out to center that dies at the warning track for Halleman. At number 2. Tell me the freshmen on this team aren't having a little bit of fun as Halleman.
Batting for the Sooners, number 1, Sydney
Not
Sanders.
wearing any green though, that's the thing, you know. We can make as much fun as we want about St. Paddy's Day, and I think some of the players for Mental Health Awareness Week have continued to wear the green bows, but I don't see too many of them today in this all red and crimson, black, cream matchup. Sydney Sanders, RBI single in the first in that controversial at-bat that featured a few strike three calls that went by the wayside. Could have had this game 1-0. There's the pitch count. Back behind the zone. We sit 0-2. Now 1-2. Maddie Wright looking for a 1-2-3 inning. One of the rarer feats against this murderer's row of hitters from Norman. A great take by Sanders, evens the count, fills the count in fact, 3-2. Throughout walk work, forces
The Sooners, number 7, Cassidy Pickering.
a little bit of extra tension here in the top of the third inning as Cassidy Pickering comes to the plate. Pickering walked in her first at-bat. To the ball on the inner half. Maddie Wright's body language tells it all. How am I supposed to pitch against the best team in the nation if you can't pick the corners? One and one the count. And I think Oklahoma fans would agree with me there. Despite the bias, I know a lot of you guys on social media will disagree, and that's the beauty of this country we live in, isn't it? As the count moves to 2-1. To the count. Sanders over at first base with a 2-out walk. After Oklahoma scored 2 in the first, here we sit with 2 outs in the top of the third. Rise ball skied out to center where Holloman waits. And 1, 2, 3, 4 goes the Sooners here in the third inning. A one-hit start here through 2 innings. And she'll take on the 9-hitter in Logan Holloman. Holloman, Barnhart, Villa. A slow roller here on a swinging bunt. Tough play for Brito, but she'll make it with ease to grab the speedy freshman for out number 1.
Batting for the Red Raiders, number 24, Aubrey Barnhart.
So to the top of the lineup, Texas Tech goes. 2 reach base the first time through against Nicole May as Barnhart rips one foul, very similar to her first swing against Nicole May back in the first inning. May this season started with 3 shutout innings against Utah Valley, then went 4, allowing 3 unearned in a tight win over Washington. 3 earned runs, the first of the season on February 23rd against Mississippi State. And got hit hard in that wild 9-7 win over Miami, Ohio. 3 innings, 3 runs with 5 walks for May. Very uncharacteristic. In fact, May has just walked 1 here since that Ohio outing. In 13 innings, just 1 walk. Now 2 for May with 1 today. And ooh, Barnhart gets caught right in the funny bone. She goes down in the heap. Will not be removed though until at least she touches first base. And I am sure that Texas Tech will use a runner here, and yeah, Barnhart immediately taps the bag and heads to the dugout, so hopefully she'll be all right. Texas Tech does have a few first basemen they can use defensively, as Chastity Rains, who is honored today. In fact, the first 200 fans got a Rains trading card. So she will run over at first base.
Batting for the Red Raiders,
second
number
season.
00, Ariana Villa.
Franklin, Kentucky native, who has turned around this Texas Tech program. New single season record in home runs last year, top 10 in the nation in home runs and doubles this season. As Ariana Villa takes high, and dribbles one in that 3-4 hole, tough play. Villa goes head first and is safe. An infield single for Villa.
Love.
Love walked in her first plate appearance and takes high and inside. Huge cut there on a drop ball, whose top just completely came off there from May. A beautiful pitch. And the count 1-1. Love into the 5-6 hole. Station to station goes Rains, and Texas Tech has the bases loaded. We're down 2 in the third with 1 out. So we talk about prime opportunities. The Red Raiders stranded the bases loaded on Friday. We've certainly discussed this situational hitting. But they didn't have Kaylee Wyckoff at the plate on Friday, I'll tell you that. Last season's freshman of the year in the Big 12. The biggest moment of this contest so far. Wyckoff grounded out back to May to end the first inning. A 402 hitter at the plate for the home run yesterday. Good strike to start the at-bat from May, the super senior. Another slow roller. This is gobbled though, it's short and everybody's safe as Jennings throws home. And Villa is out trying to score from second. So extra aggressive base running we'll see how they rule that, as Texas Tech will score one on the ground ball by Wyckoff. But what a play by Jennings to recognize Villa was churning for home.
Red Raiders, number 2,
Now Demi Elder comes to the plate here with 2 outs and runners on the corners. Everybody kept running. As Elder takes high. My best guess is going to be a E6. But we're still waiting on the official signal. Torres on the right side, and Torres and Sanders as Elder is ready in the count 1-0. In this tight game 3, with the Red Raiders looking to beat the #1 team in the nation for the first time since 1998. And they toppled Arizona. Two and 1 the count. Elder rolls over to 1 to Torres. And so Texas Tech gets one back, but their base running costs them. Now we head to the 4th with Oklahoma up by just 1. As Alina Torres leads things off, Maddie Wright has been dealing back-to-back scoreless frames for the senior as she finds the zone on the outer half to Torres. Fly out to end the 1st for Alina Torres. Her 2nd home run of the season on Friday as she falls behind in the count 0-2. Torres came off the bench yesterday, had a hit and 2 at-bats. This one up the middle, right, let it go, thinking there was a defender behind her, but no one in the vicinity as Torres leads off the 4th with a base knock. We know with this Oklahoma offense, I believe Avery Hodge will come in and pinch run here. This offense can put up runs in a hurry. We've seen it in consecutive innings this weekend, with 8 runs in the 7th on Friday and then 12 in the 1st yesterday.
Batting for the Sooners, number 30, Riley Ludlam.
Riley Ludlam, who has worked 7 walks in 9 plate appearances. On a bluffed steal attempt there by Hodge, Ludlam takes a rare strike. He has not seen many strikes here this weekend. Has shown an impeccable talent to view pitches in the zone. As the count evens 1-1. Meanwhile, I mentioned there were first base opportunities off the bench for Texas Tech, and Dee McClarity will come in to replace Barnhart, who hopefully is able to shake off that elbow injury on the hit by pitch. Big swing there by Ludlam, evens the count 2-2. Pop up into center. You see that flag in center is not moving much, so Holloman with very little trouble on a few of these fly balls. We have seen the wind act up here at the Rock, but this weekend it has cooperated. So with one out, to the 9th spot we go, and Riley Boone.
Batting for the Sooners, number 0, Riley Boone.
Boone with 2 hits, an RBI yesterday, a hit and an RBI on Friday. We'll take the first pitch outside from Matty Wright. Uh-oh. A Boone balloon on the loose. Good job by our cameraman. On a hit and run, a hesitant Kreitz throws late, and Hodge will take second base. So count 1-1 here with 1 out in the 4th as Oklahoma looks to retake that 2-run edge. And Boone slapped into center, up enough for Holloman, whose speed can catch up for out number 2. Hodge will look to tag, and again using her speed to go from first to third here on the last 2 pitches. Freshman from Flower Mound, out patrolling center. Sets things up here with 2 outs for Jada Coleman.
Number 24, Jada Coleman.
This is exactly the situation that Oklahoma was in the first inning. 2 outs, runner on third, up by 1, and they were able to get the run in. That was Sanders who got the single, as Wright pulls the string for out number 1. Just a little low. Very similar pitch from Wright in the count 1-2. This one gets the call. Big moment, 2-2 pitch, 2 outs in the 4th. And Coleman laces one to left. Villa is there. Wright puts together a 3rd scoreless inning. Glove of Alina Torres, who has been replaced by Avery Hodge over at second base. 1-1 the count here from Nicole May, who has allowed 4 hits on 1 run with 1 walk and 3 strikeouts here through 3. I mentioned it a little bit earlier in the broadcast. May's season high is just 4 innings. Might Coach Gasso ask her to go a little deeper, or will we see the likes of Kelly Maxwell, who spun a gem on Friday of 10 strikeouts in 6 innings, no runs. As the 1-2 pitch is driven out into the glove of the waiting Hodge. And isn't that just how the sport works? You come off the bench, the ball finds you. I think I've called about 6 games here in the last 10 days. And in almost every game, a defensive replacement gets the ball hit at them nearly immediately. You just love it.
Number 11,
you don't want to get too cold out there off the bench. So with 1 out, Abby Orrick comes to the plate. Orrick will swing at the first pitch. It squeaks under the glove of Brito. And a 1-out error gives Texas Tech a base runner and brings the go-ahead run to the plate here in the 4th. 85 there. Sets things up for Kennedy Kreitz.
Batting for the Red Raiders, number 8, Kennedy Kreitz.
One and one the count here from Nicole May, who has her ears covered on this 50-degree overcast Sunday. Well, the official score here has just changed the ruling from error to single. So Oryx, one out single, sets the stage. Scoreboard had E up there, but they have since reversed it. Now a weak roller out to Hodge. Oh, we have a collision. And this will most likely lead to a Texas Tech out as dead.
Batting for the Red Raiders.
But nevertheless,
number 7,
there are two
Logan
outs
Holloman.
here. Logan Holloman down by 1 in the 4th. As the first pitch from May misses outside. Jennings, Parker, Brito. The sluggers in the lineup due up in the top of the 5th. Oklahoma absolutely cruised by Iowa State last weekend. This is their first real nail-biter in conference play. Game 1 of that Cyclone series, Oklahoma was tied heading into the bottom of the 3rd. Brito had a single, and then Sanders blew it open with a 3-run blast in the 4th. But it was still close, 4-0 the final. Iowa State then run ruled in games 2 and 3 as the 2-1 pitch is bunted foul. Holloman, who comes from Flower Mound High School, started the season with hits in 4 of her first 5. A great take here will fill the count and send the tying run in motion. As the payoff delivery. Driven off the body of May, and everybody's safe. And Holloman is able to send it to the top of the lineup, where Dee McClarity is due up due to the injury to Barnhart.
Pitch running for the Red Raiders, number 36, Gabby Rawls.
Gabby Rawls will pinch run. See Dee McClarity.
Batting for the Red Raiders, number 20, Dee McClarity.
Sophomore from Garland, who had 11 hits and 40 at-bats last season. Has already 7 hits in 30 at-bats this year. With 3 doubles and 9 RBIs as McClarity takes Hine inside. Tense moments in every inning. This has been a fun one here between Oklahoma, the number 1 team, and Tech, who sits in the top 30 RPI. 2-0 with Villa on deck. Clarity's first at-bats of the weekend. Taking all the way, and the count 2-1. Already 0 for 2 with a run scored 10 days ago at BYU. Two the count on a good pitch by May. This next out will tie Nicole May's season high with 4 innings pitched. Two down on strikes. Nicole May works out of a jam, and Oklahoma will send the meat of their lineup to the plate up by 1 in the 5th. Top of the 5th in a 1-run ball game as Tiare Jennings swings at the first pitch from Maddie Wright. Gets one out to Elder for a quick and much needed out number 1 as Texas Tech holding their breath every time the top of this Oklahoma lineup comes to the plate after they scored 29 runs in the first 2 games. But Maddie Wright has not been wrong today. In fact, you can go back to the first inning if you want to see how Oklahoma scored. It was 3 singles, real professional at-bats, but even Wright and her modesty will tell you she thought she struck out Sydney Sanders to keep it 1-0 in the first, but Oklahoma was able to scratch across the second on Sanders' 2-out single. And that is the important run right now as Ella Parker takes a strike and the count 1-1. Parker set the stage in the first, an RBI single, stole second, moved to third on the error, scored on the Sanders single. The zone has been small all day long, and Wright has been a trooper, nevertheless. The count moves to 2-1. Alyssa Brito, Sydney Sanders to follow. Tense moments here in the 5th inning. Hold one out to second. Tremendous play, but Jennings can't make the throw. Parker runs into McClarity, and you saw the arm of the umpire is going to be interference anyways, and she moves to second on the error. So Parker with 2 bases here with 1 out in the 5th. An opportunity for Brito to add some insurance.
Batting for the Sooners, number 33, Alyssa Brito.
Brito 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a fly out to deep center. Crack! Unbelievable crack of the bat there. The sound effects tells the story of Brito's 8th home run. Did the ball break or what? What a swing from Brito. And it's 4-1 Oklahoma. Would love to know the exit velocity and the distance on that one from Brito as she wound up just a few feet shy of a home run in her first at-bat. And the first home run here today for the Sooners. Sanders takes high and outside, and now there will be a real test for Maddie Wright to stay engaged. This is where you learn a lot about a pitcher. Sanders and Pickering due up here with 1 out. There's a strike call to even the count 1-1. We have our friendly umpire back behind home plate, giving you all the balls and strikes. We appreciate him. And a pop-up handled by McClarity for out number 2.
for the Sooners, number 7, Cassidy Pickering.
So a tremendous play made by Jennings ruled an error, followed by the Brito home run. So 2 earned runs allowed thus far by Matty Wright. Good pitch on the outer half to Pickering, who walked in the first, flew out in the third. She had a home run yesterday for her 4th of the season. One strike away. Just out of the grasp of Kreitz on that foul tip. A little joking there by Frederick Ewald makes Pickering laugh. Two and two it stays. And a changeup freezes Pickering and sends us to the bottom of the 5th. Brito's 2-run bash gives Oklahoma their largest lead here today. So into the 5th inning goes Nicole May. Longest outing of her senior season as Ariana Villa takes outside. And once again, we'd like to thank all of the students that are a part of this broadcast. Here on St. Patty's Day weekend, the cameramen and women, Scott Edwards and David Hoagland, producers and audio technicians here on the Big 12 Now on ESPN Plus all weekend long. Meanwhile, Oklahoma baseball leading the Big 12 with a 5-0 start. They had a crazy finish yesterday at TCU for an upset series win. Texas Tech looks to win the series today in the rubber game against Baylor. Villa singled in the 3rd and goes down on strikes here to start the 5th. A little wagon wheel introduces Riley Love with 1 out. Down by 3 runs in this tight contest.
Heading for the Red Raiders, number 5, Riley Love.
And I'm sure both coaches will tell you they can learn a lot about their ball club in games like this. For Craig Snyder, patience and veteran leadership dealing with umpires that have not quite gone their way as Riley Love gets hit by this pitch. For Oklahoma, finally a tight one.
Batting for the Red Raiders, number 13, Haley Wyckoff.
As Haley Wyckoff comes to the plate, looking to repeat her big swing from yesterday. And she'll take a rip. Deep right center. Coleman will grab it just shy of the wall. And that close to bringing this one back to a 1-run ball game. There's out number 2 here in the 5th inning. Meanwhile, Hannah Core has come in for Pickering, moved into left field, pushing Riley Boone out to right. There's Riley Love.
Batting for the Red Raiders,
Scampered back
2,
to
Demi
first
Elder.
base. As Demi Elder comes to the plate here with 2 outs, and she'll swing at the first pitch and foul it off. Hodge, Ludlam, and Boone. 7, 8, 9 due up for OU in the 6th. And May is 1 strike away from sending us there. One and 2. Ground ball over to Sanders, and we are off to the 6th. OU, a 3-run lead here in the series finale in the final Big 12 regular season meeting of these two sides. Avery Hodge leads things off here in the top of the 6th inning. Her first plate appearance today after pinch running and filling into second base for Torres. Maddie Wright, who has been dealing 5 innings, 2 earned runs. Scattered 5 hits with 3 walks as well, but the 2-run home run really set this one apart, and it was Brito's bash. Trio pitch in their first strike. Ludlam to follow. Boone in the hole. Wright has been able to silence the bottom of the lineup today. As a 3-1 bunt attempt by Hodge fills the count. Kennedy Kreitz, Maddie Wright, a pair of seniors, with Abby Orrick listening in. Hodge 1 for 4, got the start yesterday with an RBI and a run. She will slap this out to left for a leadoff single. If Oklahoma can get this lineup back to the top here this inning, it could be in a situation where they may see a new Texas Tech pitcher. The question is,
Batting for the Sooners, number 43,
can Maddie Wright
Quincy Lilio.
work out of another jam here? We have seen the resilience of Wright this year, as Quincy Lilio will pinch hit for Ludlam, who had the hand injury in the field a couple innings ago while running. So Coach Gasso takes no risks, nor should she. We saw Lilio go 0 for 2 back on Friday. And she takes high and outside. Lilio chops one to short. Quick trigger over to first. What a throw by Auric for the out.
Adding for the Sooners, number 0.
And it brings things down to Riley Boone as Texas Tech's defense, despite a few errors, has certainly saved runs today. Had that tremendous catch made by Villa in left. A drag bunt look by Boone starts the at-bat 0-1. A lot to be excited about if you're a Texas Tech fan. Take a trip out to Ames on Friday. 3 games against Iowa State. And you host UCF here in 2 weekends, starting on Thursday as the infield was drawn in a bit with the slap hitting Boone, and she'll find center field with an RBI single. Oklahoma has continued to show their versatility with now 6 singles of their 7 hits today. Talk about adding paper cuts and watching them stack up.
24, Jada Coleman.
As Jada Coleman comes to the plate following Boone's 3rd RBI of the series. Coleman singled and scored in the first, flew out twice to left, including the highlight reel jam, smashing against the wall. Ariana Villa's latest and greatest. Two 2-0 the count here to Coleman. Runners on the move, a bit of a pitch out, and a great pickup by Auric, but the throw a little up on that shortstop side, so Boone will swipe her 4th bag of the season. Pitch in there for a strike. Runner has moved on to second base here with 1 out in the 6th. And so a 5-pitch walk puts Coleman on. Coleman sets things up for Tiare Jennings now.
23, Tiare Jennings.
Bryce DeColve in his first season as Texas Tech's pitching coach will come out and have a word. And the task is a toughie. Tough to really say who the best player on this Oklahoma team is, but I think Tiare Jennings is my choice. A combination of Jennings and Coleman have been doing it for quite some time. Both of them have hit 400 in each of their 4 seasons. Jennings has been more of a power threat. Enters this game with 82 home runs, 13 away from tying Lauren Chamberlain's mark at 2nd, behind Alo the Queen. 1 double away from setting the record. This will not do it though. Double play chance, but a little late there was Jennings, and she'll grab it for the fielder's choice. 2 outs now. Key moment comes now for the freshman Parker. As you all at home know, if she hits a home run here, mountain will be that much taller for Texas Tech. Takes a pitch up and in. It has not been a strike all day. So at least Ewald has shown consistency. Wright has 2 7-inning complete games this year against Tulsa and Stephen F. Austin. He has not thrown this many pitches since the Tulsa game on February 17th. The 2-1 pitch to Parker. Fouled away, evening the count. Frozer down at the knees. And Kreitz didn't realize it, but that'll end the inning. So Matty Wright with a massive strikeout to keep this game in question. Oklahoma with 2 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th, after scoring 2 in the 1st. Jennings with a swinging bunt into no man's land, but the quick trigger by May is beautiful. Wow. There was that second. You can see May like a skipping stone after the miscommunication between her and Ludlam there.
Batting for the Red Raiders, number 11,
Not an
Abby
issue.
Orrick.
Brings up Abby Orrick here with 1 out. Orrick struck out in the 2nd, singled through the left side back in the 4th inning. Looking to spark a rally. And Nicole May is thinking quite the opposite. Looking for a Sooner sweep once again to stretch Oklahoma's final Big 12 record to 6-0. Meanwhile, Texas Tech 2-3 after taking 2 out of 3 at BYU. Red Raiders with their highest RPI since 2019. Sat at 27, 25 in the KPI entering this weekend. And on a 1-2 pitch, Orrick goes around, and May picks up her 6th strikeout. And a reminder that with the win today, Nicole May will pick up her 57th career win, putting her alone in 10th place in Sooner history.
Raiders, number 8, Kennedy Kreitz.
Those curious, May's season high in strikeouts is 7, 1 away. Kreitz lifted into right center, and it falls and gets by Coleman. Kreitz will run into second base safely with a 2-out double. So the freshman Holloman.
Batting for the Red Raiders, number 7, Logan Holloman.
What can she do here after singling to the pitcher in the 4th? Holloman the other way. What a grab! Brito again dazzles with her 2nd Web Gem of the weekend and sends us into the 7th.
Alyssa Brito.
That's how this game works, isn't it? You make a play in the field, you're almost always due up that next half inning as Brito leads things off with a bash. gone. First the Webb gem, then her second home run of this afternoon, and Oklahoma's lead is 5.
Batting for the Sooners, number 1, Sydney Sanders.
And so Sydney Sanders comes to the plate. Maddie Wright, who is able to bounce back from the home run by Brito in the 5th. Sanders to pop out to first. Off speeds, pushes the count to 3-0. Oklahoma scored 8 runs in the 7th inning. In a game that was 6-0, pushed to 14-0 on Friday. Here's a strike to Sanders, 3-1. Full count walk, but Sanders on with nobody out here in the 7th.
Hannah Coor.
So pinch hitter here, and pinch runner, Maya Bland, while Coor came in last inning, so we'll see Hannah Coor's first at-bat today. Pitch in the zone, runner takes second, and she is caught stealing. Bland is thrown out on a BB from Kreitz. And a strike called, so the count 0-2 here to Coor. Ground ball out to second. Jennings stays down on it and fires to first for the second out.
Batting for the Sooners, number 82, Avery Hodge.
So we'll see Hodge, who singled in the 6th, scored the lone run last inning as Oklahoma has just steadily added insurance. Two runs in the first, 2 runs in the 5th, a run in the 6th, and a run in the 7th for Oklahoma. Meanwhile, Texas Tech scored the run back in the 3rd inning. Good looking change up there. An inside-out swing, snagged at third. Oh, nearly picked up by McClarity. Defense has been at center stage for both teams here today. Love did everything, but the throw was a little low. So Oklahoma gets a base runner here with 2 outs. I don't know, Ludlum trying to figure out if she can grip the bat with that wrapped up finger that she hurt back in the 2nd inning on the great play made by Villa. Ludlum sliding back into 2nd. Now the problem if you're Oklahoma is you can't hit for Ludlum again unless you want to take her out of the game. And with Hanson already under the weather, it is going to be Ludlum
number 30,
for better or for
Riley
worse
Ludlum.
here. And from what we've seen from Ludlum, she has not swung often this weekend. Walked 7 times. So she may not be swinging at all. And the umpire continues that tight zone as this pitch misses inside. You know the count here to Ludlum. But as a pitcher, there's got to be a sense of understanding what Ludlum is dealing with. However, Wright walks her on 4 pitches. And Ludlum celebrates. He didn't have to swing the bat.
Batting for the Sooners, number 0, Riley Boone.
2 outs, 2 on, and a 5-run lead for Oklahoma here in the 7th. As Riley Boone makes her 4th appearance at the plate. Runners will advance on this ball in the dirt as Hodge got a great read. I'm not sure what Kreitz could have really done about it. So we're going to have a meeting of the minds here before the 1-0 as Wright has now delivered 5 straight balls. And then we see the trail runner in Ludlum with runners at 2nd and 3rd now in 2 outs. And their first strike with the changeup. That seems to be the more reliable pitch right now for Wright. Being able to locate that off speed. And all things considered, have kept the Oklahoma bats not named Brito at bay. Oh, that is a dandy of a changeup in the count 1 and 2. Hodge at 3rd, Ludlum at 2nd. 1 run in here in the 7th. On the solo shot by Brito to lead off the inning. Another change up, doesn't quite get there, the count runs full. 2 pitch, driven fair down the first base line. Hodge comes in. A rolling throw is unable to stop Ludlum, and Oklahoma gets to 8 here in the 7th. Boone strikes again with an RBI single in the 6th, and now a 2-run knock here in the 7th. See if Matty Wright looks to complete this game. The task is tall with Jada Coleman at the plate. 1 for 3, a single and a walk. Count 2-0. Keel walked 3, allowed 6 hits and 9 earned runs. Saw her ERA go from 2.27 to 3.29 yesterday. That's still a testament to how good her season has been when you allow 9 runs without an out recorded. And her ERA only goes up to 3.29. There's a strike and the count 3-1. So a 5-pitch walk for the 2nd straight inning for Jada Coleman. And the walk totals have been so impressive for this Oklahoma team. They drew 8 walks yesterday.
Batting for the Sooners, number 23.
13 walks on Friday. And there is their 7th walk here today. So 28 walks here in a 3-game series. Tiare Jennings takes a strike. Here's her final chance to leave Lubbock as the all-time doubles leader in Oklahoma history, needing 1 to surpass Sidney Romero. Two and one. There's a friendly strike call on the outer half, and the count 2-2. Ball in the dirt, both runners will advance, and the count runs full. Now a payoff pitch from Keel. It's driven to center. Jennings clears the bases. Her 10th home run of the season. And Oklahoma puts up a crooked number for the first time today. Third home run of the weekend, 6th home run in the career of Tiare Jennings here at Rocky Johnson Field in just 6 games. And Ella Parker will come to the plate now. The score is 11-1.
Number 5, Ella Parker.
Parker takes high, 3-1 now. Six runs in the 7th inning for Oklahoma. As the 9th Sooner here in this inning is Parker. The pitch there by Keel is spoiled away. Second walk allowed by Keel. Puts Parker on and brings Brito back to the plate.
Batting for the Sooners, number 33, Alyssa Brito.
Brito, who homered here back in 2022, has now hit 3 this weekend. Second multi-home run game of the season. Last came at Long Beach State back in February. As Brito rolls over to one, and it gets by Love into left field for a base hit. Ariana Villa due up second in the bottom of the 7th. McClarity and Love as well. Meanwhile, Sydney Sanders
Batting for the Sooners, number 1, Sydney Sanders.
will re-enter as Maya Bland ran for her earlier in the inning. Sanders swings at the first pitch and fouls it back. And Keel 1 strike away. This Oklahoma team just refuses to swing at any junk. We have not seen many swings outside of the zone, regardless of the score, regardless of the count, and that is just a testament to this team's dominance. This pitch is grounded foul. 2-2 the count. Can Keel find the pitch? 2-2 popped in the infield, and she will get out of this inning. Oklahoma does score 6, though. Tech's last up, so we come back. 6 innings, allowing just 1 run on 7 hits with a walk and 6 strikeouts. As Haney, the Kentucky native, creates a pop-up from McClarity on the first pitch, and it's snagged by the racing glove of Boone out in right. Haney, a second-teamer in the ASUN last season. Also won
Batting for the Red Raiders,
Virginia
number 0,
State Pitcher
Ariana
of the
Villa.
Year voted by the SIDs. That's quite the prestigious honor with all of the huge arms out in Blacksburg with Va-Tech. As Ariana Villa comes to the plate. Scouting report on Keeney is this: a developing changeup, as Coach Gasso has tried to create more of a down ball pitch to induce more ground balls. A righty who has thrown nearly 700 in her innings career. We're going to close the door here. Villa fouls it off and the count 2-1. Love on deck, followed by Wyckoff if the inning continues. There's a called strike to even the count 2-2. As Oklahoma looking to sweep Texas yet again. Should be a fun series later this season between those two. Longhorns have seemingly stayed competitive with OU, the only conference foe that, in my memory, has won more than they've lost here in the last few years. Can't wait to see Kelly Maxwell's rematch with the Cowgirls and Coach G. Plenty of good storylines to follow here this season, as the Sooners will host Baylor next weekend. Texas Tech heads to Iowa State and will host UCF here to finish out the month of March on a Thursday to Saturday series. E2 to Villa's fouled away. Villa takes strike 3, and Keeney's 1 out away. After a pair of strikeouts yesterday for the righty, gets it first.
Batting for the Red Raiders, number 5,
Introduces
Riley
the soon-to-be all-conference third baseman in Riley Love if she continues this hot start. And Love has reached in all 3 plate appearances today. Huge cut. Riley was looking for the 10-run home run there. I mentioned it yesterday. What I saw from Keeney puts her in a level of class that I think can compete as the number 2 arm on Oklahoma. As Love slashes one foul and sits down to a final strike. One and two. Good take by Love. Count runs to 2-2. Texas Tech looking to extend this 7th inning. As Love cruises one foul down the left field line. Next Texas Tech softball broadcast will be in 2 weeks. Thursday against UCF. It will be a 6 o'clock start time, 6 o'clock on Friday as well, and then a nooner on Saturday the 30th to wrap up the month of March against the newcomers in the conference in the Knights. We had a tough time with Texas this weekend. And there it is, called strike 3 ends this one as Oklahoma moves to 6-0 in the conference behind Alyssa Brito's 2-home run day. As we thank you so much for joining us. This has been a presentation of the Big 12 Now on ESPN+. Have a great rest of your St. Patty's Day weekend. Enjoy Selection Sunday.